Anti-Afro Bengalis. This is a follow-up to the video that I posted wherein I had made it very clear enough was far beyond enough with binary code and his continuous attacks on our race, the black race, and apparently there was some sort of response that he had. Someone sent me over some clip that he was talking to like Max V and some other people. I wanted you to listen to this clip because there is a very important message that I need to drive home because I'm completely aware there are people out there who are watching, who have been through this, and they have been made to feel they cannot speak up. And I need you to really listen carefully to what is being said, and I'm going to come back and address this. Stay tuned, and I will return.
And I knew once I made Code Fam headquarters, AAS was going to jump on it. Oh, damn, I said her name right. ASS was going to jump on it. I knew it. I was waiting for it, actually. You know, now I just got to figure out how to maneuver. See how it goes. Oh, man.
Brother binary.
I know, man. I know. Golly. Bro, if you didn't get that itch, man, I'll be out here on the streets all by myself pretty much.
Yeah, I got the itch.
Thank God. I'd be on these streets alone.
I'm like Floyd Mayweather. I had to get back in the ring real quick.
And I can't believe she's trying to put that British Bulldog stuff on me. And look at him comparing black people to animals. I'm like, oh my God, man.
Well, he said worse about me.
Yeah, I know.
He said much worse.
But she don't care. And what she doesn't realize is that I have, you know me, Max, I kept all the receipts. And she straight up started this shit show. She started it all, man. And now look, she can't take it, and it's get him fired. Let's hit him where it really hurts. His pockets. It's like, oh my God, man, this one. There has to be something illegal about trying to get people to rally to get somebody fired, even though those people have nothing to do with nothing, man.
I mean, if it was illegal, you see how they get all those, those racist Karens fired?
Oh, I see.
That would be illegal too. So
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, I guess we take the good with the bad and let it go.
First off, I want to say binary code lies by saying I started this. Please allow me, as you know, I'm going to address what we just heard. But I do need to take this quick detour. This is very important. Please look on the screen. You'll see a post from Rev G. Now, there is a person whose channel I enjoyed going to, but this person decided to jump into the fray and make comments about the situation you see here. And you can read the comment. But not only did the person address this person took the situation way into outer space, making all these statements that were untrue about me, anti-fraud warriors, and it culminated in her calling Rev G Dusty and questioning his Christianity. So I absolutely, as many times as Rev G has supported me in ways that you can't even imagine, that I've never brought here to YouTube, I wasn't going to let that stand. And this page, I've been going to for about like a year. It's not like I'm just hopping around. It's a random page. But I do acknowledge the fact that this person did recognize what happened to him should never have happened. Just the same, for a person who reviews sex toys on YouTube using sexually graphic language, making it very clear that her husband buys her all these sex toys and how she has to use alcohol in order to use the sex toys. Really interesting, to say the least, people, type of situation. However, this proselytizing person, she calls herself a Christian, judging Rev G's Christianity, Yet her excitement level for her own husband doesn't match the excitement level she has for these sex toys, because she makes frequent reference to her husband, like in the videos, and it's essentially deadpan. Now, I know Reb G's wife, they have a very loving, affable relationship. So, how can a person come on here and proselytize as being this model Christian, sharing herself sexually with the world? And that's what it is when you're graphically describing your sex life to people. I mean, come on. No one is going to say that as adults you cannot have discussions about these issues, but to display it to the entire world as a married woman, and then you're going to stand in judgment questioning his Christianity, to me, that is extremely hypocritical. Furthermore, this person likes to pretend that she's concerned about Reb G and he's going to be harmed by me. That is a joke, because she is dealing with the very people who have already stabbed Reb G in the back. And it didn't take them anywhere near 8 years to do it. They got right on it. As soon as they got what they wanted from Reb G, they stabbed him in the back. They started showing up on these demon panels, telling all kinds of lies on him after he had helped them. That's on them. But these are the people that this person thinks the world of, and that's cool. Birds of a feather flock together. So let's move on to the topic of the video, which is truth. Because people like this individual aren't interested in truth, they're interested in keeping a lot of mess going. Binary code lies will produce the information where I attacked binary code based on his race or any protected class issue. You have nothing, anything even remotely related to me attacking him. So he lies. I pointed out the binary code was sitting on those attack panels where anti-fraud warriors were continuously threatened with violence and sexual crimes and doxxed and all of this stuff. He sat on those attack panels and he laughed. He thought it was funny. Just like he thought it was funny when he was comparing the content creator, who was a black man, to animals. And when he wants to deny that he didn't do it based on race, he hasn't compared any other race to animals. He hasn't compared Asians to animals or white people or whoever else, what you shouldn't be doing, like I stated in my last video. And he wants to make sure he continues on with this childish behavior by calling me an ass. Well, you're the ass, binary code. You're facing disciplinary action, not me, because you are out of control. And as for Max V, you referencing the content creator having said worse about you, it's not relevant. Neither one of you are public servants. So basically, your issues would be a wash if you both ended up in court accusing each other. The judge would just probably tell you go your way or you go your way. Now, what you might have a problem with if the spouse has ever decided to take you to court because you launched unprovoked attacks on them and they have absolutely nothing to do with the dispute with their husbands. So that would be your concern. But you're not a public servant. So why would this apply to you? This applies to public servants. This standard that I'm referring to as far as attacking people based on protected class issues. Let's not forget, Max V, you're perfectly fine with having binary code on your platform. He called me a gorilla bitch and a big lip gorilla bitch and blackety black. And you have a white woman, a white female on your panel who calls black people niggers. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that you don't see this as a problem. But guess what? Go and do what you do. You can sleep at night, put your head on a pillow, fine. There are plenty of other people who find this behavior repulsive and revolting, just as they should. If you have any decency and self-respect, you would never accept a person in your presence who attacks your race. Now, let's say this. He loves to repeat what he says are my words. I never told him, go for the pockets. I said, go to the power source. He doesn't listen. And just a few days ago, this was all fun and games. And he's admitting that he created this page specifically to continue these attacks. And for binary code to sit up here and say, I'm trying to get him fired, that is absolutely ridiculous. He engaged in the behaviors. He has a right to defend himself. If he feels he shouldn't be fired, then he's going to launch a defense. The fact of the matter is, he made these statements. Who forced him to make these statements? It is not a defense for binary code. It's not going to be an effective defense. Let me say this. To say that I started this because I pointed out he was on attack panels, that's only going to further incriminate him because he was sitting there and laughing while people were doing the things that I had mentioned. The doxing, the threatening to sexually assault, sexually torture, targeting children, calling people's employers with lies. There's no issue calling someone's employer if you're telling the truth. Calling someone's employer when you're lying, that's a whole different situation. And what is wrong with rallying people together to stop racial attacks? He seems to think it's okay to set upon black folks. We are easy targets in his mind, especially black women. Look on the internet, what is being said about us. He just thinks I'm just another easy mark. And if people want to be so ridiculous in their disposition as to claim this is bullying, let them say that. Challenge them to produce evidence. Guarantee you they will not be able to produce a single shred of evidence. That is the only thing they can continue to repeat because there is nothing else. Look at what I'm bringing forth. I'm bringing forth evidence. I'm bringing forth screenshots. I'm bringing forth clips. And I thank you for sending me the information because contrary to popular belief, these subjects would have you think that I'm sitting up around all day long on YouTube, capturing every single word that they say, that I actually have the time to do that. I don't even have time to record a video in a single setting, let alone sit around on YouTube all day, listening to them and capturing their comments. So I thank you for helping. Your representation, your determination to get me this information is the biggest gift you are giving to the cause because this is not acceptable behavior. Now, for those of you out there who are not public servants, do you think that your employer, if you're doing this, if you engage in this type of behavior, you think your employer wants to be associated with stuff like this? We see all the time, we hear it on the news. There's a person, I don't know who the person was that was talking. Why is it okay to make sure you go after what they call people Karens? It's okay to go after the Karens when they talk about black folks, but you're letting binary code talk about you like a dog and it's okay? That doesn't make any type of sense whatsoever. It's amazing how binary code gets so much excitement and enjoyment out of it. Look at the difference between his behavior when he thought no one was aware of this page. With this page, I had already posted another warning. That's the thing. He was given a warning that people are aware of your live streams and they're recording them. He didn't care. He just kept doing this. And here we are again. It is so important for binary code to denigrate us as black people. He's determined to do this. And the reasons for that, he will have to explain to the school board. But listen, black folks aren't the only people that binary code is in trouble for targeting. So what will be his answers and excuses to all of the other protected classes that he has offended and denigrated and verbally abused and ridiculed? as a special ed teacher. He is the one that decided to take these public oaths. He's the one that decided on this profession. The responsibility is his. I will not be the butt of any joke that targets my race or my gender or any issue associated with me that's protected. If you are a public servant, you can deal with it any way you want. And I think it is quadruple hypocritical when you have some of these people, like these educators who've been dogged out, one in particular, still haven't seen a response to Dumpsy's video he put out on this person. Completely and totally eviscerated this person. And this person has absolutely nothing to say. Yet they think they're going to come for me. Come for me with evidence. I also wanted to point out, and I don't have the screenshot up, there was someone who made a comment, something to the effect that Rev G, talking to Rev G and me, we should just move on and do what Lennon did, like be done with it or something to the effect. We're not talking about threatening the lives of me and Rev G. That's been dealt with. The police dealt with that. They're not threatening us. That's not related to what happened before. Binary code has started a whole new wave in order to bring traffic to his page. And he's violating his code of conduct. So what you're referring to is not relevant. Either way it goes, whoever this person is, you cannot tell somebody how they should handle a situation. If you are a black person and you choose to sit up under people who denigrate your race, you can do that. I am not one of those people. So don't transfer advice from other people and expect me to adopt it or Rev G to adopt it if it's not even relevant. It's not the same situation. We're talking about something that binary code got started. And he's going to have to answer to that. So if it so happens that people want to create these new scenarios where they're violating people's rights, that is something that will be done. Now, there are people cropping up all over the place thinking they can do these things. If somebody else decides they choose not to deal with it, that is on them. You can't force people to do what you want them to do because you want to be entertained by somebody else being abused. I asked that person, how would you feel if people turned on you and started doing it to you? You would not like it. So don't give people advice and tell people they must accept abuse. That is ridiculous because if one of your family members or you were set upon, you would be calling the cavalry. People are absolutely, I mean, their mindset is just, it's decrepit. It's amazing. No one can tell a person they're not supposed to be filing a complaint. The same goes for me. File a complaint, which people have done, but it just so happens I haven't replicated any of the behaviors that binary code has perpetrated upon me and other people. Someone talking about objecting to being discriminated against and the protected class issues used as the butts of jokes isn't something you will be able to get discipline for. The discipline will be the person who's perpetrating the act. Now, I will continue to keep you posted on this issue as developments occur. In the meantime, if you believe in truth, if you have self-respect, never accept any sort of treatment that violates your dignity. Above all else, heed the warning. Buyer beware.